Bitcoin dumps and the DXY continues to go up higher. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Today, oh my bad, I had a freaking burp literally into my intro. You can't make this thing up. Thursday, January 18th. I hope all of you are having a wonderful night today. Good morning, good afternoon. Hope all of you are doing well. Today we'll be talking about Bitcoin finally having some sort of correction. Is this a correction we've been waiting for? The DXY continues to actually make higher highs, which I wasn't expecting. So this kind of threw us out of surprise a bit, I'm gonna be honest with you, because I didn't think so yesterday, but I wasn't too confident with the market, right? What the market was signaling us yesterday wasn't really showing us too much confidence on the upside or to the downside. And with that being said, I did mention to a lot of you, maybe waiting to go ahead and enter a position would be one of the best things to go ahead and do at the moment. Currently sitting at 63 on the grid, and I do want to go ahead and say welcome everybody that is brand new or tuning into the channel. Good evening, Goldie. I hope you're having a great day today. Good afternoon. How are you doing today, by the way? And how are your trades doing? You know, you called it yesterday. You know, you said, you know, the market wasn't looking too good to go ahead and trade, and I completely agreed with you. It just so happened a lot of these meme tokens are actually still making higher highs, right? It looks like altcoins have corrected a bit. Bitcoin has finally started that correction that we've been talking about. I wouldn't be in any shorts as of yet. I haven't really looked into the charts, to be honest. No, yeah. No, this is quite bearish. This is quite bearish. It's quite bearish. I said there's either going to be two case scenarios, right? We would either go ahead and see Bitcoin go ahead and break past $44,000 and then get rejected, or even break past $44,000, get more liquidity at $48,000 and then bring it down. So it looks like the correction for Bitcoin has now started. This thing could obviously go ahead and still break above because we are still at an area of support. So I wouldn't be super bearish yet, and the only reason why I say that is one thing that I found really interesting is that the US 100 is actually going higher. So today's a day that Bitcoin does not react to the US 100, which is honestly not something that it's not something uncommon. It happens very often, but we are seeing the DXY actually going up higher, which I was not expecting. I was expecting some sort of correction, and I was honestly more tuning in for, you know, Bitcoin breaking past and touching $44,000 and then getting rejected and coming down. I thought that's what we would have been seeing, but it looks like the correction has started from the $43,000 levels that we thought of, you know. So it's actually quite interesting how the market's looking right now. DXY is entering, you know, some areas of resistance, but the thing is with the DXY that I've noticed is that typically when the DXY reverses, it just runs up. It just has a continuation where it just runs up. And the corrections on the DXY are very minimal. There's sometimes only 2-day corrections, there's only 1-day corrections, or there's sometimes all the way up to 3 days of corrections before the continuation on the DXY. So the DXY is probably one of the best ways to go ahead and track the market, but I wasn't expecting this, honestly. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was not expecting this with the DXY and Bitcoin kind of getting hit. This kind of, in my opinion, kind of threw me off. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this one really did throw me off, and this usually doesn't happen too often with me. I did open up a short yesterday or 2 days ago on Bitcoin at like $43,000, and I knew this thing was gonna dump, and I got freaking liquidated because it ticked off to like 43,700 or something like that, and I got liquidated. So that was pretty dumb. But one thing that I also caught myself was not putting stop losses. So I have to get in the freaking habit of using stop losses, right? I've been so used to trading these meme coins without stop losses that I don't put any stop losses. So welcome everybody. How's it going? Go good. Hope you're having a good one today. Smash that like button for me. Let me go ahead and start shilling the community, the live stream right now. So give me about 1 second while we do that. In the meantime, go ahead and start putting smart contracts down below that you want me to go ahead and review, or any TA on any specific tokens you want me to do as well. Let me go ahead and get this up and running. Yeah, I've mentioned these last 2 days or yesterday that the markets were looking a little slow, right? I've noticed already the decrease in the channel, honestly, and that's typically how I know the market's in some sort of sentiment of correction into the market is when the channel slowly starts kind of like decreasing on what it's doing, right? And that's actually what I've been noticing. Like my last videos on YouTube have not been doing as well. They haven't been performing as well as they usually do, and that's usually an indicator that we get that retail's feeling a little bearish, and that's usually when the interest of crypto kind of starts slowly fading away. We are now live, so we got that out the way. Great question. How far will the pullback be? So I'm actually glad you asked that question. All right, awesome. So there you go. We are officially now live on every platform. Well, every platform, just including YouTube is what I meant. But anyways, that's a great question. How far do you think we will go? Or how low do you think we will go? That's a great question. I think $32,000. But let's go ahead and do some technical analysis right now on Bitcoin, which I haven't done in a while. Like I didn't really do TA yesterday. I was mostly just talking about a lot of these meme tokens yesterday, because meme tokens were doing very well and they're actually continuing to still do very well. You're seeing a lot of these tokens, like look, S ships, which is Solana ship, 42%. We have dog with a hat, 62%. So like there's still a lot of these meme tokens, despite the fact that, or dog without a hat, despite the fact that we are seeing a correction in a lot of these altcoins. A lot of these meme tokens have been still pumping. Trump being one of them. You know how we talked about getting closer to this presidential US election. I told a lot of you that Trump token was going to hit $1, and look at that. Like I literally said that back over here, probably like back a few days ago when it was at 20 cents. I didn't think it was going to happen this quick, but it did. And this is kind of the thing with the market, is that sometimes it doesn't wait for us. I was hoping this thing would have not pumped just yet, due to the fact that I really wanted to go ahead and throw some money into Trump. But more what I wanted to do was throw liquidity, because that's how you make the most money, right? Good evening, all. Wrecked again, no trades for me. Yeah, I got wrecked 2 days ago, so I'm taking a break from trading. I'm probably gonna refund my account by the end of this month with that challenge that we were talking about, the $100 challenge. SEI, you want me to go ahead and do TA on SEI? 100%. We'll do some SEI on the pullback. Goldie says, John, from now on, always SEI, including myself. Okay, we'll always go ahead and do SEI, chat. I apologize. We'll always go ahead and do SEI every freaking time. So let's go ahead and... All right, let's go ahead and look into this. What am I doing? Let me pull out the charts. SEI. Urgent warning. Yes, urgent warning. Today I actually didn't put urgent warning. I think today I only put urgent. I should have put urgent warning. I think that would have definitely gotten more clickbait, right? What do you guys think about the thumbnail, though? Kind of changing it up, you know? Let's go ahead and take a look at SEI. Welcome, Glenn. Hope you're having a good one today, bro. Glad to have you here. Stop loss. Sell everything is what Glenn is saying. I should have put that title on. Dude, I should have put that title. That would have gotten so much freaking clickbait and people freaking getting mad. I'll do that next. I'll do it tonight or morning for a lot of you. I'll do a clickbait title this morning later on today, where it's gonna say sell everything, and it's gonna try to like panic everybody, right? I'm being sarcastic, by the way, chat. I'm really am, but I'm really not. Okay, anyways, let's get into the SCI freaking TA before I get distracted again. I get distracted very easily, and then people complain why I get distracted, and this is the reason why, because you guys make me laugh. All right, so looking at SCI right now, looking at the hourly, we do see that the RSI currently right now is getting ready to cross. If we do get this rejection on the RSI, we could go ahead and continue to the downside down to 64 cents. But I do think there's a possibility where we will go ahead and retest 77 cents. So you could go ahead and expect SEI to pump back here short term and then probably have a continuation to the downside. That is at least on the 1 hourly. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 4 hourly. 4 hourly is not looking, let's see, 4 hourly. It's looking healthy. It looks like a pretty healthy correction, right? Now, my thing is, I probably wouldn't be entering any trades right now. I'd probably wait for, if you are looking to enter a trade back on SEI, I would go ahead and wait for this thing to break above it and then probably see some sort of support being found around this area. Is a pretty good area of support, and entering a trade right here would be a pretty good area. And probably putting your stop loss below 7424 would be ideal too, but I don't like to give stop losses, because if I give stop losses on live, a lot of people will go ahead and do the same, and then Wells will go ahead and dump on us. So I usually don't like to go ahead and give stop losses where to put, right? But typically when it comes to stop losses, I like to go ahead and go slightly down. But as you see with the wicks right here, look how low these stop losses have wicked people out, all the way up to like all the way down to 22%. So SEI on the daily, let's see. Daily is looking still pretty bullish. I do think that as long as we continue to hold 69.63 around the zone right here, we can still go ahead and see some sort of continuation to the upside. So let me go ahead and pull out my tool, my handy freaking tool, if I can find it. Let's see, where's it at? Path. So I think it could do probably something like this, where if it continues to hold this area of support, we should go ahead and see some upside to SEI approaching that 90 to $1 area. We do kind of see that the RSI is slightly fallen below. So worst comes to worst is if we do lose support, we could go ahead and be approaching 53 cents, which either way, as I mentioned, I did expect the market to be very, very volatile. But I don't think this could happen. It could be a possibility. I don't want to say it's not, because honestly right now, this is probably the most uncertain I've been in the market. And I usually, like, I would tell you, like, hey, you know what, bullish, bearish, I'll usually tell you. But right now, the uncertainty in the market, it's freaking high. It's freaking high for me. So, like, what that usually means that if you can't find any entries for a lot of these trades, don't enter them. It's really kind of that simple, but not really, because you would tell yourself not to enter a trade, and then you end up entering a trade that made no freaking sense, and you lose money because that trade was never in your favor to begin with, right? Billy looks like he hacked my account or something. But anyways, we still, even if you zoom out on the 4 hourly, we still are in a continuation of uptrend. So we still haven't broken that structure. In order to go ahead and indicate that that structure has been broken, we would have to go ahead and see this trend line fall below it. So even falling down below 64.29, like let's say we do approach 59, this would be a, what is the word I'm trying to say? I was going to say a destruction to the pattern. I guess you could use that word, right? It would be a destruction to the uptrend that we're having right here. So it's still continuation to an uptrend at the moment. As long as we continue to hold either 70 cents down to even 64 cents, it will still be quite bullish in my opinion. Once we do go ahead and lose the support on this trend, it's going to look more bearish, and that's if we go ahead and break below 64 cents. So if we do approach like this 58, like if we do, let's say for example, fall below around this zone right here, this might be an opportunity for us to go ahead and start shorting a lot of these altcoins. But I don't think the dump is going to be for that long, and the only reason why I say that is because of the fact that if Bitcoin continues to dump, there is going to be a little shakeup in the market for a lot of these altcoins. People are going to panic. They're going to be like, the freaking sky is falling, and they're going to go ahead and get scared. But by the time that thing happens, a lot of the dips are going to get eaten up pretty quickly, right? So even if the case was where we get a signal to short, there could be a possibility there's going to be a massive reversal with a lot of these altcoins. So typically when we see this market structure happen, where we're seeing Bitcoin, falling off, people are kind of losing the interest. We're seeing a lot of bearishness coming into the market. We're seeing a pivot into the meme tokens and altcoins. Altcoins do take a little bit of a breather because people were very bullish when, Bitcoin was doing okay. But once it starts retracing, the altcoins kind of take a hit temporarily with it. But for SEI, if this was to be the case, this would be very, very bearish. If we do go ahead and see it approach the 50-cent range. So this would be like a bearish, and maybe entering a trade around, 69 to probably even 64 would be the area to short, and then have this downside continuation to the downside. That's what could happen with altcoins. I don't think we're going to be in that case scenario. I do believe we will be probably seeing a lot of volatility in the space, but I don't think it's going to be that bearish. And even with SEI, it's still looking pretty good. Daily still looking pretty good. Would I enter any trades right now? Probably not. Probably not, because it's still, you could either go ahead and take the risk of taking a trade right now, because SEI, even in the 1 hourly, doesn't look too bad. We do see the RSI getting towards that oversold territory, but a confirmation for a lot of these trades, you would ideally want to go ahead and see a break past those previous areas of resistance and now have them become new areas of support before entering a trade. So I would just say be patient, maybe wait a couple hours, or by tomorrow you should get a better understanding. Obviously, none of this is financial advice. But I think, in my opinion, the market is looking a little bit scary for a lot of people. And if you want to support the channel, make sure to use the links down below. BingX and MEXC, currently using no KYC. You also have Bybit right here. And if you are looking for a VPN that you need for whatever reason you need it for, NordVPN is offering 69% off with 3 months currently extra, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at what the DXY is doing. Actually, let's do Bitcoin. We'll do Bitcoin. If there's any other tokens you want me to do, go ahead and comment down below to do some TA on. But let's go ahead and look at the comments real quick. It's Syntax. How's it going, buddy? Good evening. You're right, dude. I do need the freaking emojis. I need the emojis to make it like kind of scary, right? Ryan, how's it going, Ryan? Hope you're having a good one, bro. Hope you're feeling a lot better. Glad to go ahead and have you here today. Smash that like button for me, chat. Only 7 watchers and only 3 likes. Come on, buddies. Come on. It's completely free. Doesn't cost you anything. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about Bitcoin. And then once we go into Bitcoin, we're going to go ahead and talk about some news sources that we're looking at. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin. So honestly, this kind of caught me by surprise a bit. I'm not gonna go ahead and sit here and lie to you. I was bearish on Bitcoin. We were talking about this with Goldie, I think 2 days ago, when we were entering some short plays on. I did pretty good on a freaking Chainlink freaking short. Like, as soon as I entered that short, Goldie, like, that thing dumped. That thing freaking dumped. But one thing I've noticed with a lot of these altcoins is that when you see these massive retracements to the downside, they typically get bought out really quickly with the dips, and then they see a massive reversal, right? Which kind of eat up your gains if you don't have like a take profit. But anyways, with Bitcoin right here, I'm actually quite surprised, to be honest. I was expecting the DXY to go ahead and have some sort of a bearishness in the next coming days. I was expecting the DXY to at least dump for like 3-4 days, and that's why I was thinking maybe Bitcoin could go ahead and approach the $44,000 area before we get rejected, because I was thinking maybe the DXY will go ahead and sit here, get rejected because we are at areas of resistance, come back down, and then Bitcoin will pump for 2-3 days, let's say, and then it has a continuation to the downside. So I have been bearish on Bitcoin, but I didn't expect Bitcoin to get instantly rejected right here. Now, the thing is, can Bitcoin still go ahead and retest $44,000? 100%. This could have just been, the longs freaking shorting, or the longs wrecking the freaking shorts. Wait. No. The shorts wrecking the longs. That's what I meant. That's what I think could have, that's probably what happened here. But realistically, we are still at an area of support. So I wouldn't be 100% bearishness where I'm like, okay, this is the point where you would enter a short. If you wanted to enter a short, entering a short would have been good right here at $42,000. 829. Entering a short now, I think it's just not the smartest thing in my opinion. Unless Bitcoin does lose its support below $40,000. Like, let's say Bitcoin falls below 40,211. Let's just say ideally, just call it 40,100. then yeah, that's where a short would be a pretty good opportunity to enter, because that would mean that we would retest back over here 40,500, let's say, and then it's going to come back down. So I think price target for Bitcoin is still around the zones where I do think we're going to be either approaching that $36,000 area or that $32,000 area, and I'm going more for the $32,000 area due to the fact that no actual support has been actually found on Bitcoin. This is probably like the most support Bitcoin has had in a while. You know, we've been consolidating in this phase for a really long time. So the fact that we are in this zone, it's actually been quite respected for about almost a month and a half. Let me go ahead and actually tell you how long this area we've been in this consolidation period for. It's about 44 days. So we've been in the zone for about 44 days, counting today. So it's about a month and a week, I think, or a week and a half, something like that. I think there's 7 days in a week, right? Anyways, support is found on Bitcoin right now. This is probably the only support we've had ever since Bitcoin has pumped from like from the $20,000 area. This is like the most support Bitcoin has ever had, right? So if Bitcoin was to go ahead and lose this a little support that we have now, this thing will come crashing pretty freaking hard, in my opinion. And everything now is finally signaling in the market. The DXY continuing to go up is definitely showing us that strength of the dollar coming in, which is definitely going to go ahead and have a lot of influence in Bitcoin continue to fall to the downside. Because even if we do fall below this area right here, Bitcoin has no initial support from that $40,000 range all the way down to 36. I don't even think this is a good area of support. I think maybe at the best would be around $32,000. And even then at $32,000, I don't think that's like the best area of support. But if we do go ahead and zoom out from, let's say, from a while back, right, from 2021 to from the 2021 range, you do see that there is some decent area of support around this range right here, right? So you could go ahead and say that within this 36 to that $32,000 range on Bitcoin, somewhat of support, right? Because the resistance wasn't very strong, the support wasn't really strong. So that's kind of the problem when we see run-ups like this on Bitcoin. And the reason why I've been super bearish on Bitcoin for like literally the past like month and a half, while everybody was getting mad at me and calling for Bitcoin to hit $100,000, was due to the fact that we never had no actual real support found, right? So this is like the best support Bitcoin has ever seen in over 30 days now, right? Because this area has been consolidating here for 40 days. So, and usually when you see a major consolidation going like this, there's going to be two things. And I'm sorry to tell you this, but it's going to be a major move to the upside or a major move to the downside. Like that's how realistic when you're getting to these zones where it consolidates. I'm still going in for the $44,000 area. And I'm only saying that because I think this is going to be a bull trap. We're going to go ahead and enter a massive bull trap where the bears are going to go ahead and let the bulls sing that Bitcoin is going to go to 100,000, and they're going to go ahead and push the price action up to either $44,000 or even as high as $54,000 in my opinion with that retracement. So I don't think this is over for Bitcoin. I could be wrong. Maybe this is the beginning of that correction that we've all been waiting for, but I have a feeling that this is not over yet. And I feel like they're going to go ahead and finish up with one last bang to go ahead and wreck all the longs. And if they go ahead and finish up with that one last bang, Bitcoin is going to be able to fall through very freaking quickly, like faster than most people expect. And this thing could fall within probably like 2 weeks. It could probably hit $32,000 in my opinion. So anywhere between 2 weeks to, you could call it half a month. Well, that is about half a month, right? So about half a month, you could go ahead and see this correction happen with Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin does reverse from this area of support, because we are at support, we could, don't be surprised if we do see $44,000 or even try to make higher highs to $54,000, where there's some sort of short squeeze happening, where the market continues to go crazy, and then all the bears just freaking wreck all the freaking longs. That could also be a thing that happens. But if this thing was to happen, we probably wouldn't be seeing Bitcoin come down to these ranges. We'll probably see Bitcoin, if we do see a short squeeze happening, we'll probably see Bitcoin, in my opinion, coming down to back to this area of support around $40,000. Because even if we measure that from this top of $54,000, let's call it 54, 55, that is going to leave us with a 25% correction, which we usually have every time in the market, right? We're always followed with a 30% correction. This is a 16% correction. So if you measure from this top to this bottom right here, a 30% correction will take us to this range right here on Bitcoin at around the $34,000 range. So this would actually be following the correction of what I've been talking about for these last couple months, how Bitcoin is always followed with a 30% retracement before we go ahead and make newer highs. So there's going to be either two case scenarios right here, right? I'm sorry to go ahead and tell you that. I know most people want me to tell you exactly where the market's going to go. I don't freaking know. I think the market's still going to finish up with one last bang. And I do think there's a possibility we could approach this area right here with a short squeeze. So I think that could happen. But we also have to keep in mind that we are at this range of support right now. So whether we retrace from 44, 54 is still going to be the same case scenario. We pump, we dump, and then we're going to see a massive reversal making new all-time highs. Whether it's from this 48 range, same thing. Whether it's from the 54 range, yeah, we're going to go ahead and short this area right here, right into the downside, but then this is where you start longing, because I do believe Bitcoin will be making higher highs after the halving happens. So it still goes back to short-term bearishness, but long-term bullish, and I'm still bullish throughout the year of 2024 to 2025. Glenn says, I haven't liked the video yet, but I will now. And also you should chat. You should chat. Also, so should you chat. Yes, you should chat. Smash that like button. Come on, we have over 9 watchers and 6 likes. Come on, it's completely free. It doesn't cost you anything. So short-term bearish on Bitcoin, long-term still bullish. I don't feel very confident with shorting here. I think this could also be a bear trap now, and that's where the scenario of $54,000 being possible, right? So maybe I go ahead and switch it up later on today with, instead of making like, oh, crypto's crashing, maybe I call for $54,000 Bitcoin, because I do think it's possible. This is an area of support, and unless this area of support is broken, it's not going to look too well, to be honest. If this area of support is broken, it's not going to look too good, but it's very, very possible. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because of the fact that I also think the DXY needs to correct for at least 2 to 3 days. So if that thing was to happen, if the DXY does correct, let's say for 2 to 3 days, comes back to some sort of support before making higher highs, because I do feel like the DXY needs to kind of slowly fall back down now. I think it might be time for the DXY to take a little breather, relax a bit, let Bitcoin do its thing, and then reverse on the market, and that's where we will have Bitcoin pump, short squeeze, and then we're going to see the market dump, and people are going to be caught by surprise. So that's my analysis on this. It also kind of seems, looks like we also have an inverse head and shoulders pattern on the DXY. So we are seeing that as well. So if this thing was to go ahead and happen, you could go ahead and expect a massive correction on Bitcoin as well. So short term, I think Bitcoin still could pump. I don't think this is the top yet for Bitcoin. I think what they're going to go ahead and do is with a fake out, short squeeze is going to happen. Shorts are going to get liquidated, and then people are going to get super excited over the long wick. Then the DXY is going to retrace for a few days, finish up this inverse head and shoulders pattern, which is very bullish, which would indicate a bearish scenario for Bitcoin, and then that's when we will have Bitcoin taking a dump, and that's what I think will happen. So I don't think this is over, chat, and for that reason, I would say probably be a little bit alerted more when it comes to taking trades, because I did mention expect a lot of volatility in the market. Now that we have the ETF, there's going to be more manipulation than ever before, and that's just because now, you know, Wall Street's in control. Wall Street is now in control of Bitcoin, which I'm sure a lot of you thinking about it now, you're like, oh, damn, I wish I would have never wished for a Bitcoin ETF, right? Well, now we have that Bitcoin ETF. and the thing is right here with the US 100 as well, I do think there will be some sort of top with the US 100 coming very soon. We did talk about how we were reaching these areas of resistance. The US 100 is actually continuing to the upside. Stock market actually is doing very well today, or did very well. You see Netflix, Apple doing pretty well, and we're seeing everything, Dow Jones, NASDAQ, you know, S&P, and everything doing very well, right? But I also believe that the stock market is running out of fuel, right? In my opinion, I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I do believe the stock market is getting close to running out of fuel. So even if we were to see that that continuation on the stock market, that would cause Bitcoin to go up higher. We will see some sort of correction on the DXY temporary, and then we're going to go ahead and see a major reversal on the stock market as well. So I do expect the stock market to correct alongside with Bitcoin correcting. Altcoins will begin to take off, in my opinion. Meme tokens will go ahead and start picking up, and then we're going to be led with one of the biggest bull runs in history, in my opinion, because even looking at the US 100, this does look like a major cup and handle pattern, which sometimes ends up looking for some sort of top before doing a fake out, and then looking for that next area of support before finally taking off to the freaking moon, right? So this is also something we're seeing on Bitcoin. So even though I am, bearish, you just look at this right now. We just saw Bitcoin at 41,000, dude, and we were just talking about Bitcoin being at 40,000 a few seconds ago. So I do believe same case scenario with Bitcoin. You also, if you zoom out, bullish long term, you could go ahead and zoom out, and you see this major cup and handle pattern, right? So we need to find that area of support. Is it going to be at 32? Is it going to be at 36? Where is it going to be? And then we might go ahead and be followed with a major reversal, taking Bitcoin to all the way up to $80,000 to $19,000, and that's within the next year and a half, right? So I do believe towards the end of 2024 leading to 2025, we're going to have the biggest bull run in history, alongside with the stock market, alongside with crypto. So anybody talking about, the market's going to collapse, this is the end, major recessions coming in. We've been in a recession. Yes, economy is going to get worse. Yes, inflation is going to get worse. But overall, the stock market and the crypto market is going to make higher highs. So this is a time, not financial advice, to start loading up on any dips. Stack up on gold and silver for those people that love gold and silver. We're seeing oil slightly going up. So we're going to go ahead and see a lot of commodities go up as well, right? So I do expect the year of 2024 and 2025 to be the year where new millionaires will be created and new wealth will be created, as long as you understand what you're looking at the market, right? So one of the biggest things I would say, just be patient, buy the dips. If you're not looking for any trades, don't purposely trade this market. You do not want to go ahead and get wrecked. That's one thing that I wish I would have done with some of my positions, is not over trading. Typically, if you're over trading, is because you're not entering a good trade setup, right? Remember to go ahead and put stop losses, take profits, please freaking take profits, and don't react on the first move, right? Because as I mentioned, don't be surprised if Bitcoin does have a short squeeze. Don't be freaking surprised if we see a major reversal, $54,000, everybody gets freaking excited, and then it just comes falling down to that $40,000 range that we saw, and that would be an area of support. And it would actually make more sense. It would actually make more sense, honestly, realistically speaking, if we were to go ahead and see $48,000 to $54,000 pump, then we start retracing all the way down to $40,000, because this is the major area of support that Bitcoin has been in the freaking longest. Literally the freaking longest. Since October, Bitcoin has not really had any support. So you have to understand that there's a possibility, more than likely, a short squeeze does happen, kind of slaps all the shorts by surprise. Short squeeze happens, retail gets excited, pushes the price action up higher, Bitcoin hits $54,000, everybody's calling for 100,000. Shorts enter right at the top again, short the market down with a 30% correction, and that is the correction that Bitcoin has been waiting for. And that'd be ideally 26%, which is good. We could take that, because ideally we could even go as high as 55, let's say, or 56. And that would take us to around, let's say, 56, 57, 55. That would still take us around a 28 to 30% correction, right? So whether it's 54, whether it's $57, $50,000, $58,000, it could be around this range. And that would make more sense if we were to correct from Bitcoin being at those ranges down to this area of support at $40,000 Bitcoin. And that's the 30% correction that we've been waiting for. This is the correction that we need, right? As I'm saying, we go back all over here, the corrections that we're always followed by with. it's always typically the 30% corrections. You measure this top to this bottom, a 31% correction, right? So that's usually the corrections that we have for Bitcoin every time Bitcoin makes higher highs, right? Same thing right here. We're followed with about a 24% correction, almost about 30%, and then we're followed with a higher high. Back over here too, you measure this top to this bottom, we're followed with about a 23% correction. Bitcoin makes a higher high. So it's within the range of about 25, let's say, on average to a 30% correction before Bitcoin makes a higher high. So unless this is the correction, which I believe this was one of the corrections, we could go ahead and see more momentum to the upside, in my opinion, and then wrecking most of the people. It just makes more sense. It just makes more sense to grab more money at these areas, because this is the most support Bitcoin has seen in a while. If this thing dumps, even at these areas of support, they're not the strongest. They're not the freaking strongest, and Bitcoin could really dump even lower, but I don't think that's going to be the case. So be very, very careful right now. Volatility is going to be through the roof. If you are entering any longs or shorts, do temporary trades. Don't trade these for too long. Maybe keep your eyes out on the freaking charts, because last time, a few days ago, 2 days ago, I was in a long trade on Solana, and bam, the market flipped on me within 15 minutes, right? As soon as I took my eyes out of the chart and I was doing something else and I forgot to put my stop loss, I ended up getting wrecked. So a lot of volatility will be in here, right? So be very, very careful. Fear and greed right now is at 63. We will be getting that 2-hour update very, very soon. Looking at CoinDesk right here, you also see that BlackRock Bitcoin's ETF hits 1 billion in a week. So you're seeing a lot of this volatility coming into the space, which I've been talking about how we should all be considering the fact that there will be a lot of money into DeFi, right? And people are getting super, super excited because Donald Trump vows to never allow central bank digital currencies in the US, right? People take that very, 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 very personal. And this is the reason why I also talked to a lot of you a few days ago. I said, keep the narratives in mind, right? What are you in this space for, right? Are you in the space for, what you like, what you don't like, or are you here to make money, right? Always consider that. Obviously, I'm saying, if it's against your beliefs, then don't do it. But, as long as you're not hurting anybody, I don't think it should be a problem. I was talking about, this token Trump being a possible token to go ahead and jump into when it was below the areas that it was at right now. And that was due to the fact that I mentioned, most Americans get very, very excited for the presidential election. It's like one of the biggest things in the US. And people take it very personal, right, when it comes to all of this. And I said, there's a token called Trump, and people are saying Trump's probably going to win this year. That's what they're getting so excited for. I don't know who's going to win. It doesn't matter. I think regardless of who wins, who's elected in the office, the price action is already priced in, right? All I care about is the freaking DXY, how the stock market's doing, how the Fed balance sheet is looking like, and how inflation's looking overall. That's all I freaking care. I don't think, in my opinion, I could be wrong. We're all here for our own opinions, right? I don't think no presidential candidate or anybody in office is here to help anybody worldwide, right? Whether in whatever country you're in, I don't know how it works, but a lot of people, rely their hope into the presidential election, thinking they're going to go ahead and save their lives and is going to be their only last resort to their savior of whatever presidential candidate gets freaking chosen. I think it's, in my opinion, kind of the dumbest thing to rely on. Like, why would you rely on why would you let somebody else dictate your success, right? And that's how kind of I feel when it comes to, these politics and news. It doesn't freaking matter, bro. Look at the Bitcoin dominance, look at the DXY, look at the stock market. People lie, numbers don't, right? So whatever people are saying that they're going to go ahead and change the world and they're going to freaking do this and do that, I want to see it through action, right? And the action we're seeing it through is what we understand and what we're control of, I guess, somewhat control of, right? We're not control of who gets elected in office. Neither are you. If that was the case, I don't think the world would be the way it is right now. But that, as I mentioned, is solely my opinion. But with that narrative that I talked about, people are going to get super excited and look at this token Trump at over $1.38, right? And we were talking about it around this range right here, under around 17 cents. Unfortunately, I didn't get in because I was waiting to go ahead and get paid. And I was like, maybe it doesn't run up till next month. I was like crossing my fingers. and it ran up. It did an over 10x, right? So I hope anybody that got into, congratulations. This thing, the reason why I was bullish on it because it's at a circulating supply of 46 million and now has entered $1.38. And as the U.S. election continues, I do think a lot of people are going to start floating into this project, right? You have to remember there's narratives, how people think with emotions, how people get excited. Whoever else, you know, for example, Jonathan also mentioned that Jesus coin pumped during the same December. Jesus coin might pump again during April, right? I'm not a religious person, so I can't really tell you much about what Easter is and what it means, but I know it's a pretty big religious day for a lot of people, right? So with that being said, maybe we should consider buying some Jesus coin because people are going to get excited for Easter, right? You have to, a lot of this is also emotions, right? How do people feel? How do people relate to a lot of these tokens? And this is one of the reasons why this token's pumping, right? So I'm only showcasing you this as a reminder to follow the narrative and follow where not only big money's going, but also follow where the emotions of retail money will be going, right? Retail gets very, very emotional and they take it more as a personal thing, right? As opposed to most traders are like, dude, I don't care what token I invest in, I'm gonna make money, right? And that's the right mindset you want to have. You want to have the mindset of, I don't care if a token goes up or down, I'm here to make money. And this is kind of the narratives that we're entering in this space right now, right? Also, right now, a lot of these meme tokens on Solana are also pumping. Now that we know that a Trump token on Ethereum is pumping, maybe be on a lookout for a Trump on Solana tokens. I don't know. I'm just giving you some ideas right now, right? I'm trying to, you know, work out your mind a little bit. But there is going to be a lot of these tokens that will be pumping with exciting narratives, funny names, and it's all based on what people feel, right? Most people that are buying these are retail. The way you look into these tokens early on is how do you think retail is going to react emotionally, right? Are they going to have some sort of emotional attachment behind this because of an influencer or, you know, a celebrity or, you know, something like that? It sounds really, really dumb, but that's just how people are. We're humans. We all act on emotion, right? We act on what we like to hear, what we don't like to hear. And that's typically how a lot of these meme tokens move. They move on emotion and momentum. This is the reason why technical analysis on these are very, very difficult to go ahead and do, right? Not only because they're brand new tokens, but any narrative could go ahead and change. And I can guarantee you the reason why this token pumped was because this article was published. Has nothing to do with the token, but just because that was the case, that happened. And I wouldn't be surprised if Trump's NFTs have been pumping too, which I bought like 2 years ago or a year and a half, and I sold them at the near top. Made some really nice money on that. Really, really cool. So you just have to remember what people feel like, right? Emotion is where the key's at. Emotions where the key's at when it comes to a lot of these meme tokens. How do people feel? How does retail feel overall, right? With that being said, we did talk about yesterday as well how we were entering this phase right here on altcoin season. I did mention be very, very careful because we could have this thing reversed where everybody thinks we're entering meme coin season and then we have a massive reversal just like we had right here back on 2022 on January where we entered the 78 zone and then had a major retracement to the downside. So just be very, very careful. Yes, this is a time where you can make a lot of money longing a lot of these altcoins, but this could be the time where you might get wrecked too because of the volatility of fake out. So be very, very careful. It hasn't been fully confirmed yet in my opinion. I would say, you know, altcoin season is confirmed, but always keep in mind the possibilities of a major reversal happening like here back in 2022, right? This could also be the case. And if this is the case, I think, in my opinion, it would be really, really great for the market. It will give us an opportunity to buy the dips and load up. But this is the reason why I wouldn't recommend holding on to trades for too long, right? This could either work in your favor or work against you. If you load up right now, you can make a lot of money if this thing does continue to go to the upside. If it reverses, you're going to lose all your freaking money. So be very, very careful in that. We are seeing a lot of greed on these meme tokens, and I do believe a lot of these meme tokens are going to continue to freaking pump. So definitely be on the lookout for those. That's pretty much it on my end. There's not really much besides that we talked about. I think that was pretty Pretty important to talk about. I guess this one too. True USD wobbles towards $1 peg amid report redemption issues. I don't know what TUSD is. TUSD been closely linked to Tron founder. Okay, I remember that. Such data from on-chain analysis tool Arcam Intelligence shows that one wallet address related to Sun transferred over 16 million in the past 5 hours. Crypto exchange Binance, which preceded TUSD's climb back to its intended $1 mark. The wallet has received $50 million in TUSD withdrawals from Binance. CoinDesk has not been able to independently verify if this wallet belongs to Sun. Binance data shows that there has been an inflow of 1.8 million into TUSD in the last 2 hours as the late afternoon on Hong Kong time. I've always heard a lot about sketchy things with Justin Sun. like there's always something brand new. Like he's always like top trending topic in this industry. I'm surprised nothing has happened to him yet. It's probably political power or something. But yeah, that's pretty much it on my end. There's not much I have to go ahead and say. Queen, how's it going? John, hope all is good. Just coming in to say hi. I appreciate you, Crypto Queen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How have you been? Happy New Year's, by the way. I really appreciate it. Shout out to Natalie, by the way, chat. Go ahead and check her out. Go ahead and check her out. I'm not sure if she's still here, but go ahead and check her out. I'm going to go ahead and post her channel down below. Huge supporter of the channel. Go ahead and show her some love. One of my favorite traders. There you go. And as always, chat, go ahead and show some support on my BingX account, non-KYC, and MEXC as well. Bybit is offering up to $30,000 in sign-up bonuses. And if you need a VPN, 69% off with 3 months extra. That's pretty much it for me, chat. Very, very short live stream. I do have a few more minutes if any of you have any other specific tokens you want me to go ahead and talk about. I do have about another additional 10 minutes if you like. If not, I will be ending the stream very soon. But in the meantime, I'll go ahead and give you all about a few more minutes, see if there's any tokens in mind. It could be crypto, it can be crypto, whatever you want to talk about, just let me know, or we could just spend this time to just talk about different things, I don't know, tell me what you like to eat, what you don't like to eat. How do you feel about the market, right? We see crypto bubbles right now, a lot of these tokens taking a dump. And I feel like a lot of shorts will be making money, but I think a lot of shorts will get wrecked during this time. So be very, very careful right now on shorting the market, okay? Enter in, enter out very quickly. Don't think this is going to be for too long, in my opinion. But yeah, market looks like it's having a nice little correction. Buying a dip opportunity, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm going to give all of you a few more minutes. Welcome everybody tuning in. If you have any questions or tokens you want me to review, I have a few more minutes left before I end the stream. James, how's it going? Market is not good, but let's wait. 100%, I agree with you. Yes, the market's not looking too good right now, but I don't think it's going to be for too long, in my opinion. I don't think it's going to be for too long. Maybe this is the time where the correction happens, but we'll see. I wonder how much the freaking Trump NFTs are now worth, dude. They probably went up a lot, to be honest. 0.31 ETH, how much is that? I think they went up quite a bit. Yeah, I sold them for about that same price. I sold them for about like 800 bucks. I think it was last year. Yeah, last year. Not 2023. So 2022 was when I bought them, and I sold them 2023. I sold them for about like $800 a piece. I think I sold about 2, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, maybe these things might go up as well. I think Snoop Dogg's it's partnered up with Gala, right? Yeah, but it looks like a lot of people are probably panicking right now. Hey, Steven, how's it going, buddy? Hope you're having a good one today, bro. How you doing, bro? I'm doing very well, man. I'm doing very well. I think right now I was telling chat that we could still see some sort of upside into the crypto market. I think this could be some sort of short squeeze, causing the market to go up to these higher levels. So be very, very careful right now if you're shorting the market. And if you are entering any trades, be very, very careful to take profits as well. Take profits and put stop losses, because this is a very, very volatile market right now at the moment, but I do see some upside happening. So we'll see where the market goes, but overall I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself, man? How about yourself, Steven? How are you doing? I have like a few more minutes left in the stream. I have about like 10 minutes. If you want to go ahead and ask, any alpha, or tell us any alpha or any tokens you want me to review, feel free to do it. A good time to buy, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree with you. This is a good time to buy, not financial advice. It might not be the best time to long, though, if you're leverage trading. Awesome, man. Like to hear that. How was your day today? Solana, $80 tonight, or for the day you think probably? I haven't looked at Solana, man. That's actually quite a great question you've asked. Well, you have to also remember that Solana is also getting ready to break out to the upside as well. And that's when I started longing this market, because I do believe that Solana will probably approach, in my opinion, towards that 110 to that 145 range. So I think this is... it's kind of exactly what we kind of talked about, where we talked about, the market pumping slightly, breaking above it, and then having a correction. So I think as long as Solana holds this area of 85, we should go ahead and see Solana breaking to the upside, in my opinion. But yeah, it's a possibility we could be entering that $80 range on Solana. Short term, then yeah, this could be a nice little short. But we will probably have, there's more possibility of Solana to go up a little bit higher, I believe, before we have another downside. We might have Solana pump all the way up to like $96 before we see Solana come back down again. So we might have it come over here, resistance, and then come back down to this range right here. And I do think that's very, very possible. So I do see 85 range coming in. A good zone to enter would be around the the 97 range. So don't freaking long too much in the market right now or short it, because I do think Solana is going to slightly reverse to 96, 97, and then it's going to come back down to 85. And 85 is a major area of support. So if Solana does fall below 85, this 85 to 88 range is going to be extremely, extremely bearish for Solana, and we are going to see Solana come back down to the ranges of $60 and even as low as 40. So these are the next two key areas that we need to be focusing on if Solana does lose the support at the 80 range, which honestly I wouldn't be quite surprised, because I was actually really bearish on Solana these last couple of days. All right, very bullish. Steven says, I think Myro is a smart choice right now with the current trend till it reach 1 billion market cap. I agree with you. About 40% of all my money is in Solana now, and then other coins. Now thinking to buy more, but in 80 to 85. Yeah, I think that is going to be a really good range. One thing we also see in the market is that typically when we see some sort of correction in the Solana market, we sometimes go ahead and we're followed with a lot of these Solana meme tokens, sometimes pumping as well, right? Some of them lag behind, but it looks like most of them have been dumping. So just if you have any favorite Solana meme tokens to load up on, this could be the buying opportunity to load up on some Solana meme tokens, right? If it does fall below 40 to 50, well then yeah, your bag's going to get demolished. But if you do see a major reversal at 88 or 85 on Solana, and we see a break past 145 and 110, a lot of these Solana memes are going to go to the freaking moon. Like, a lot of these are going to go to the freaking moon. So just keep that in mind. I do think there's a few Solana plays that I'm looking at. One of them being, I know Rocky is looking pretty good at a 13 million. I would say Rocky's a pretty good one. I would say also Myro. I've been super bullish on Myro at a 200 million market cap. I think this still has a potential to do an additional about 8x, and it does seem like some sort of reversal might be coming. So you could be expecting about a 30, 40, 50% correction on Myro as well. So might be a buy and a dip opportunity. We also have Solana that I've been very bullish on. Hasn't been listed on any exchanges. Will it ever be listed? I don't know. But if it does, do expect this thing to go up berserk at a 676 million market cap, or circulating supply, my bad. So there's a few out here that are worth potentially loading up on, right? So if you are bullish on Solana and you're bullish on Solana meme tokens, right now, as this correction's happening, this could be the buying to dip opportunity for a lot of the tokens you're expecting. Slow also looks like it's getting ready to go ahead and do a breakout after this next pump on Solana. If it does lose the support, it's going to look quite bearish. But as I mentioned, I think these are buying to dip opportunities in my opinion. I don't think the market's going to correct that much. I do think so for Bitcoin, but I also believe a short squeeze might happen. So that's where we need to go ahead and keep in mind. And I think a lot of people are going to be very, very bearish right now, and they're going to want to be shorting everything. And when people want to be shorting everything, that's when we have short squeezes happen in the market, right? So that's also a level of greed. You have to understand you can't be too bullish, you can't be too bearish. Once you enter those states, that's when you have short squeezes and a lot of volatility in the market. And I think that's where we might be seeing in the next coming days, right? Because even Solana, I'm bullish on Solana. I think Solana is going to approach in the long term, in the near term future. I think it's going to approach 144. So as long as Solana holds 85 and doesn't close below 85, we could still go ahead and see a continuation to the downside, but then see a massive reversal where 144 gets approached. And I think that's, in my opinion, what Solana is going to be doing. That's what I think is going to be doing. And I've been the biggest bear with Solana, and I don't think, in my opinion right now, this is going to happen yet. It's a possibility, but it goes back to the same thing with Bitcoin. I don't think Bitcoin's going to fall below $39,000. If it does, it's going to come crashing pretty fast. But I think a short squeeze is going to happen with Bitcoin, where Bitcoin might approach $56,000, $57,000 Bitcoin. Solana might approach $144, $214. And then as retail gets more greedy, these are the levels where they're going to correct, and when they're going to wreck most of the people. And they're also going to wreck a lot of the shorts right here, thinking Solana is going to come down to these areas right here as well. So far, this has been the most major area of support for Solana as well. If you were to call this, it has been consolidating in this little zone right here for about over 17 days to go ahead and call it. So Bitcoin is showing the same consolidation at the same zone for 40 days. This thing has been consolidating for about 17 days. And typically with major consolidation periods in one area like that, it means there's going to be a major move. And I'm sorry to tell you, but it's going to be to the upside or to the downside. But I'm more kind of going in for the upside. And that's just based on Bitcoin. I think a short squeeze is going to happen on Bitcoin, which is going to go ahead and get retail excited. They're going to long the tops like always, and then they're going to get wrecked on the way down. Altcoins begin to pump, meme tokens begin to pump. So I think these buying the dips could be an opportunity for you to load up on a lot of your favorite meme tokens. You do know if Solana does lose support at like 85, a lot of these meme tokens are going to be over. A lot of them are going to retrace by a lot. But if you want to go ahead and trade, make sure to go ahead and use my links down below. BingX and MEXC right here. These two exchanges, non-KYC. Bybit offering $30,000 in sign-up bonuses, and NordVPN offering 69% off with 3 months extra, right? So just be very careful. I would say probably consider taking profits if you're longing or shorting the market right now. I think right now there's a lot of volatility and you're overexposing yourself, in my opinion, because looking at this from a longer standpoint, it hasn't given us a full-on clue of whether we should long or short the market. I think Myro is a smart choice. I agree with you, and it's getting listed on Binance soon. Myro is nice. I think at the end of the year, Solana, anyway will be 100 plus, so there would be good profit. I agree with you. Gonna buy the dip for sure. What happened to that hater that was in a chat a few days ago? Was he back? Yeah, Steven. I'm glad he actually mentioned that. So yeah, the hater that we had back, you know, a few days ago, he actually reached out to me and apologized. He reached out to me on one of my last videos that I posted. I could go ahead and read this to you just to go ahead and showcase. Where is it at? Somewhere over here that he... Oh yeah, it's right here. 3 days ago. This is what he posted. And welcome everybody tuning in. Unfortunately, I'm going to end the stream right now in a little bit, but I do appreciate all of you tuning in. And make sure to join me later on today. So this is what, you know, the hater that was talking smack on me on live on my channel, Crypto Matrix, he says, I apologize for Saturday. I was angry with the project. Pepe 2.0, I apologize for the language. And this is what I told him. I said, apology accepted. Completely understand you were frustrated and were possibly having a bad day. We all go through those moments, especially in crypto. Sometimes drives us crazy and gets us angry, but just take these moments as lesson learned and remember to forgive yourself and move forward. Plenty of new Pepe 2.0s will come out in the next month, and only the best will the only best way you will win is through acceptance of your past mistakes. Appreciate you for taking the time for apologizing, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Keep up your head. You got this. That was after he was talking a lot of smack on my channel. Like, he just came in here just saying a whole bunch of bad things, and everybody was getting mad at him. We're telling me to ban him, but I was like, you know what, man, like, he's probably having one of those days. You know, it's not okay for you to go off on people like that, but I could comprehend how people could be feeling, right? Because I'm sure we've all been through there, and we're humans. We make mistakes. We, as I mentioned, we act on emotion, right? And if people were a little bit more not reaction driven, a lot of people react on reaction instead of reacting, you know, not only just logically, but also understanding emotions. If you understand emotions of humans, you could go ahead and like kind of compress yourself and know how to handle situations, right? But if you act instantly on violence and trying to get back to the person that's causing violence, it's not always a necessary way to handle things, right? There is cases where violence is needed, but I think when it's I guess verbal violence, if you want to call it, especially on streams, is like you just kind of have to deal with it. You know what I mean? People, there's always going to be people liking you, hating you. It's just part of life. People just feel more comfortable saying things because they can't see you in face. But even those moments like that, you know, we're humans. I think as long as you're calm and collective, you could go ahead and handle the situation pretty well. Steven says, love the reply, man. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, we all make mistakes, man. And I put them on timeout. Remember, all of you were telling me, like, block them, like, get rid of them. And I'm like, nah, man, like, I don't think I should do that. Like, I'll give them another chance. You know, I'll just put them on timeout. And I put them for timeout for, like, 1 or 2 days. And I was like, dude, I'm going to put you on timeout, you know, take a breather, relax, think about what you just said, think about what you're going through, and then just come back. You're welcome to my channel anytime, right? You're welcome anytime. Because I think we're all open for opinions. I'm open for opinions. If you don't like me, that's okay. I'm not here to convince you to like me. I really don't care. And if your opinion is that you don't like me, well, then so be it. We're all here for our own opinions, right? We don't all have to be liked, and that's what people don't understand. People in this world feel like people have to exactly feel the same way that person does. Like, if you don't like me, that's okay. We don't have to like the same thing. We don't have to like the same food. We don't have to have the same agreements. We don't have to have the same beliefs. We don't have to have the same everything, right? If we all did, that would be the most boring world to live in. I think the fact that we live in a world where we could have different opinions on people and really say what we want, I think that's what's the most exciting thing about the world, right? Not everybody thinks the same. And if we all did, I think that'd be a very, very freaking boring world to live in. Like, I wouldn't want to live in a world where everybody thinks exactly like me and likes the same things and likes the same, you know, activities, because I think that kind of takes off the fun of human interaction. I don't know. For me personally, I like talking to people. That's why I love live streaming, and like I love talking to every one of you. I feel very, very connected to every one of you, even though I don't know any of you. Like, I feel super, super connected to all of you, right? And that's just because I love just talking to people, meeting people, knowing their their experiences, knowing about them personally, right? That's just me, what I enjoy. And that's maybe because, as a salesperson, I've always enjoyed communicating with people. It's really, really cool. It's really, really fun. And the more people the more opportunities come to your life. And one of the biggest things that I understood too early on growing up is that you never judge someone, right? Because you never know who's going to be the person that's going to open up those opportunities for you in your next career, in your next job, in your, whatever the case is, right? Maybe that's the person you've been waiting for in order to, get you up where you want to be in life, right? And I think that's kind of the problem that we live in this society, where people feel like there's an obligation to react a certain way, especially customer service jobs. Like I dislike these jobs or like places where people work at services and don't act in kindness, right? Because you don't know who you're talking to. That person that you're probably treating bad at that place at your job could be the person that could bring you in a huge client, could be the client that you've been waiting for your whole entire life, could be the person that could open up opportunities for you. But because you're being a dick to that person's not going to help you. And that's one thing that I learned early on. It's you don't know who you're passing by, who you're walking by, when you're taking out for a walk. You don't know any of that, right? This could either be a person that you could either piss off or this could be a person that you might want to have in your favor, right? War Dogs, how's it going, man? War Dog 6969, smashing the like for you, man. Let's freaking go. I really appreciate you. So yeah, you want to be kind to people, chat. You want to be kind to people because you don't know who you could be saying the wrong thing to, and this is the reason why we have a lot of violence in the world, right? You might be telling someone the wrong thing, and this person might be going through the worst part of their life, and they might react in violence, You don't want to put yourself in danger like that. You don't want to put your family in danger. So always try to compress your emotions. This is the reason why I tell you this market could drive you crazy. Go out for a walk, spend some time off. If you need to take a break for 2-3 days, do it. Do whatever it takes, but remember, at the end of the day, all we have is each other. Kindness goes a long way. So, if you're walking in your neighborhood, going to the store, just say hi to the person. You don't know what that person's going through, and just saying that one hi could literally change their freaking life. Really could, in a positive way, right? With that being said, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate all of you tuning in today, and I'll catch all of you later on today. Thank you very much.